A bit about my background and why I'm sharing this information with you. So as you mentioned, I've been selling products, I'm a manufacturer's rep, and I've been selling products to retailers for over a decade. And I was like you at one point. I don't know about any of you, but for as long as I can remember, I've always had a passion or an interest in wondering how people got their stuff into stores. I'd walk into a retailer and I'd be like, God, it's so cool, you know, look at this new weird cool product. I could come up with something like that, you know. And I always wondered how people did that. How did they get their stuff into stores? So what my dream was always, I'm from the Bay Area, and my dream was always to move to New York and get a job working for a manufacturer and be a manufacturer's rep and get stuff into retailers and learn how to do that. Didn't have any experience, you know, but I decided that that's something that I really wanted to do. So I moved to New York, and I convinced somebody to hire me. This guy was a manufacturer. He had gift items, accessories, tchotchkes, anything you could think of. He had all sorts of stuff, and he actually sold stuff to the largest retailers in the world. So I was like, wow, this is it. This is my dream job, right? And I had done sales before, so I thought, oh, I'm a salesperson. I got this. I'm excited. I know how to sell. It's a slam dunk, right? Well, what happened was the guy didn't exactly give me any accounts. He goes, okay, you want to do this? You're going to have to go and figure it out yourself. I'm not going to, there's nothing free in this world. Go figure out how to get your stuff into stores. And so, you know, these are all these accounts that I've never gotten into. If you can get them in, you know, this is going to work out. If not, too bad. So it wasn't quite what I had anticipated. I kind of wished he would have given me more information, but he didn't. So I had to do what you guys are trying to do. I had to go online. I had to go and research. I had to go talk to people and figure out what they're doing to get stuff into stores. And my sales background, I thought no problem. So I just started calling buyers and started doing what I always do, you know, my sell stuff, and nothing worked. Buyers didn't want to hear from me, didn't buy from me, they didn't even want to talk to me. Like, I was actually deterring them from buying from me, and I just didn't get it. Why not? I could do this for other industries, why couldn't I do it for this? And, you know, and I looked online, and there was no information. It just kept going, and like 6 months later, nothing. And, I mean, doing this every day for like an extensive period of time, and I prided myself on being a good sales rep, so this is kind of devastating blow to my ego. There's a whole thing going on here, right? So what happened was, one day, after trying all these different things, something worked. And it had nothing to do, like, the thing that worked was like so stupid and basic, but it worked. So then I started doing a few other things, and then it kept working, and all of a sudden I ended up selling millions of units to retailers. And it was like the coolest thing. And here's what was going on. I was scratching my head because all of my sales skills, all of my sales stuff wasn't working. But all these basic, simple things that any Joe can do was actually getting me stuff into stores. So I was thinking about it, you know, I was like, wow, you know, it's so much easier than I thought. I just didn't have the basic information in order to be able to go out and do what I wanted to do. So I kind of sat in the back of my mind thinking, oh, wow, it's a lot easier than I thought. I just wish somebody would have told me this before. Soon enough, I'd go to parties. I thought it was pretty cool. I was living in New York. I was selling products to retailers. You know, I was doing all these things, and people would ask me, wow, oh, you're a manufacturer's rep. I have this cool product. I have this cool toy. I have this cool thing. I want to get stuff into stores. What do you do? How do you do it? Will you represent me? And you know, as a lot of entrepreneurs are, they're really desperate. They want to get stuff into stores. They're dying to do it. So, will you take on my project? Well, I didn't know if what I was doing was going to work for different types of products. You know, again, I was doing gifts and like little accessories and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'll try it. If you don't care, I don't care. I'll try it. So my little simple stuff that I was doing was actually getting me products into stores, to the largest retailers in the world. I didn't have the buyer relationships in those categories. I didn't have any of that stuff. I wasn't really using sales skills. So again, it just kept going over and over again. So over the years, you know, I've just built up this business of picking and choosing different products, whatever it is that I want to do, not specific to one category, because I realized some of the stuff you'll know today, that there's certain things that you need to know about major retailers that are a little bit different than other types of things that you might sell to. And so, anyways, from there, I realized that there's a lot of people out there who could use the help. And I decided to write a book, a step-by-step guide on how to get your products into retailers for people with no sales experience or buyer relationships. I wrote it about a year ago, I would say, maybe a little less. And it was kind of like, it came up because I kept seeing entrepreneurs talk about their same ideas and then they never did anything about it. And they sat with it because they didn't have enough information. And I couldn't possibly take on all the projects that were coming my way. So why not help people in the process? Well, it turns out, after writing the book and teaching these classes, turns out that I like this even more than I like the selling. And it's turned into this whole thing, and I love it. And now I'm doing webinars and videos and coming to speak at inventors groups, and like this, it's just begun.